Hello everybody and welcome to today's tutorial. We're going to be learning how to do a handstand at home. I'm going to be demonstrating with Mr. Malachi here and with Noah. They're going to be my test students. Alright, so first, if you're learning a handstand, the first thing that you want to do is you want to get used to being upside down. That's the first thing, is you've got to get your body used to that kind of unnatural position. And we also got to get used to getting weight on our hands. So a really good way to start out with when you learn a handstand is to start with headstands. Now the way that we do a headstand, Noah, if you could show us. Here, come down. The way we start a headstand is by doing a triangle with your hands and with your head. So boys, put your hands down like this on the floor. Your hands are going to be the bottom two parts of the triangle. Your head is going to make the top of the triangle. Good. And what you can start off with is putting your knees on your elbows first. This is called a tripod. And this is something that you can practice very safely at home that will help you get used to being inverted. Now what we can do from there, once you can get that down, is slowly straighten out your legs up toward the ceiling. Just like that. And you can work on balancing. Now when you're doing this, what you're going to start to notice is that you have to keep your belly button sucked in. You've got to keep your core nice and tight to be able to hold this. You can come down. All right, let's do it sideways now. So Malachi, you come right here. No, you come up here. And put your hands down on the floor. We're going to go sideways. Good. So here's a sideways view of this. Your hands are down again at the bottom of the triangle. The top of your head, not your forehead, but the top of your head is going to go at the top of the triangle. And we're going to go up to the tripod first, knees on the elbows, and holding this position. Make sure that when you're doing this, you're pushing on your hands. You don't want the whole weight of your body on your head. And then we're going to slowly do Malachi. We're going to slowly lift our legs up to the ceiling. Again, keeping that pressure on our hands. You want your hands where you can see them with your eyeballs. That means that they're in front of you enough. And we're going to hold right there. You see how his body's nice and straight, belly button tucked in. And you can come down. Alright, so once we've gotten used to being inverted upside down, get used to having weight on our hands. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use a wall, and you guys are going to go one at a time so you don't kick down our nice picture. We're going to start by putting our back to the wall, just like this. We're going to reach down and put our hands on the floor. Don't go up all the way yet. Now what we want to do first, before we go all the way upside down, is just work on getting weight on our hands. So what we're going to do is put our feet up on the wall behind us, just to there, and hold it. Just to here. So we're right here. You need to make sure that your arms are nice and tight, especially your triceps, and that you're shrugging out into the floor. You don't want to be pushed in this way. You want to be pushed out through the shoulders. You want your hands about shoulder width apart. Not going up here. And come down. Good job, you guys. High five. Okay. So what we're going to do next is once we can get to the point where we're comfortable with being on our hands and you can support your body weight on your hands with your feet up this high, what we're going to do is we're gradually going to work our feet up higher and higher. So the way you can do that, this is going to be a faster version of what you might do. We're going to start here. We're going to walk our feet up as high as you can so your legs are out straight. Good, Malachi. And then we're going to walk our hands in toward the wall as far as we can until your nose is on the wall almost. Good job right there. Then you want to pull your belly button off the wall and try to just be on your toes. Just on your toes. Good. Now to get down, you're going to walk your hands back out again and let your feet come down. Again, we're going through these steps rather quickly. You may have to stay longer on each of these steps in order to feel comfortable on your hands. If you feel that you have a hard time holding yourself up and that you're collapsing, obviously don't go any higher. And you want to make sure that you're squeezing your triceps tight. That's what keeps your arms locked out and keeps you safe. And we want to always be pushing against the floor. What we're going to do now is we're going to go up to the same position. But what we're going to do is we're going to work on putting one foot on the wall, lifting one foot up to the ceiling. And we're going to switch and hold 1 foot at a time on the wall to help us start to balance. So Malachi, you can do this one. And you put your hands down, walk your feet off the wall. Malachi has a pretty good handstand. He can't hold it in a long time yet, but he's still working on it. Now walk your hands all the way up here. Now, when you're doing this one, don't walk your hands completely close to the wall. You want a little bit of space in between. We're going to put one foot on the wall, one foot to the ceiling, just like this, and then we're going to switch the other foot. Good, and switch again. Good job, and switch again. Good, and forward roll out. Boom. That's actually a very useful thing to learn when you're first learning handstands against the wall like this. Is if you do fall over, the best, safest thing to do is just to tuck your chin under and just roll out. Just do a forward roll. Now, what Noah's going to do, he has a good handstand, a pretty good handstand. What he's going to do is he's going to keep his hands even farther away from the wall. And he's going to do a bigger split with his legs. And we're going to switch your feet the same way. Okay? So come up here, face out that way. Hands on the floor. So you can walk the feet up just a bit. Hands right about there. Turn your hands in a little bit more. There we go. We're going to lift one leg up like this on the other side. So not just straight up, but actually past the top. We're going to hold it and just kind of bounce lightly on your toes. And then we're going to switch. And your other foot. Good. And extend. And then switch. Good. And come down. Now what we're going to get to eventually, this is a good drill for a handstand. And this may not be exactly the next step. This may be once you get it and you're trying to work on balancing. You may need to spend a little bit of time on the step we just did. But what we're going to get to the point is when we go up, we're going to have one leg to the wall, just our toes to the wall. And what we do is practice just pushing away and coming back. Pushing away and coming back. And you can still push and switch. Push and switch. And then what we're going to do is try to push and hold. Come back. And then push and hold and come back. And you notice while we're doing this, the back leg is actually coming way over here on the other side to balance it out. So we're in the handstand. We want to learn it in a split first because it's harder with your feet together. Hold it in a split and work on balancing in the split before we even go to bring our legs together. Now when we're doing handstands, hand placement is important too. So you don't want your hands too close, you don't want them too far. What we want is shoulder width apart. You want your hands with your fingers pointing forward. We don't want to be out too far. We certainly don't want to be in. You can have your hands slightly turned out, but you want to spread out your fingers. This is going to allow you to push on the floor a little bit better. So now what we're going to learn how to do is the handstand taken off of the wall. So the most important thing when you're starting to learn handstands is you need to start in a lunge position. Noah, why don't you come up right here? So when we do a lunge position, your arms are tight by your ears. You have a bent leg in the front with your knee roughly over your ankle and a back leg tight. The first thing we're going to work on doing is lifting our back leg up as our hands go down. So we're going to start in this lunge position. He's going to lift up his leg, just put his hands on the floor, and then come back up. Arms up tight. And we're going to lift the back leg up, hands flat on the floor, just to this position, and then we're going to come back up, and arms back up to your ears like this. Okay, that's sometimes referred to as a T in, T out. And you just want to get used to lifting the leg up as you go down because we don't want to kick up into our handstand. We want to lift into our handstand. Now what he's going to do is the same position, and this time when he gets to his hands, he's going to push off of his toe, which is this high, off the floor 3 times. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. So lunge position again. Back up just a little bit. Good. Arms up tight. Straight. There we go. So we're going to lift to this position, and you're going to push this foot off the ground just this high 3 times. We'll lift and push 1, 2, 3, and then stand back up. Good. Now you notice every time you're going to push off the floor, you want to push out through your toe, but you also want to be lifting up that back leg at the same time. All right, now I'm going to spot Malachi, and I'll show you the next part of this, which is we were this high off the floor last time. What we're going to do this time is we're going to go a little bit higher, and a little bit higher. So we start in our lunge position, front leg a little bit, feet a little bit wider. Good. We're going to lift up the back leg, hands on the floor, to here, and we're going to do 3 times. Now all the way, you're going to keep your legs in a split. And we're going to push 1 and down, then 2 a little higher, down, and 3 a little higher, and down. And finish back in your lunge again. Arms up tight. Good job, man. Up and chin up, make yourself look nice and proud. Good job. Good. We're going to do 1 more time. And what I want you to notice is that the higher this foot comes off the floor, the more this back leg has to come over to the other side. Arms up straight. Good. Hands down here. Lift the back leg. Goodness gracious. And ready. And we're going to go 1, down, a little bit higher, 2, down, And one more, we're gonna go all the way up. 3 and hold it, hold it. So when we get here, both legs are equal. We don't want to be here up to the ceiling. We want to have both legs equal from vertical and come back up and finish. Hot dog, man, high five. All right, so what we're going to see if Noah can do this time is we're going to go up to that split handstand. And remember, we want to learn the split handstand first before we worry about closing the legs. So what you're going to do this time, you're going to go up to that split handstand and hold it. Okay? So let me see it lunge. Arms up tight. Lift up the back leg. We'll keep a split open right to here. Now, if his leg's only this high when I let go, it's going to come right down. So go back up again. Watch what happens if I pull the leg over this side and we're balanced and keep it up. Ready? Push up tall. Good. Right there. Okay. That's your balance point. So you notice when the leg comes back on this side and we have an equal angle from the top on both sides, that's when you can start to learn how to balance it. There you go. Keep it open. Good. You're good. And come back up. Good. Now, another thing you can do, I'm going to use this real quick. Another thing you can do if you have something around the house, it doesn't have to be a panel mat, but what you can do is use this panel mat as a way of helping you get upside down a little bit more. Hands flat. Now you notice he had his thumb under like this. I've seen people do handstands like that. Don't do that. It's gonna hurt your thumb. So make sure that your thumb is out to the side, not under, but out like this. All your fingers are spread out. So hands down and spread out your fingers. Good. Put one foot up here and the other foot lifted up. There you go. Right here. Now I want you to push up this foot and lift that leg up. Good. Do it again. And lift. Good. And lift. Good. And come down for a second. So here's a really important tip when you're doing handstands. Your shoulders have to be on top of your hands. So if you're doing a handstand and your hands are way out in front of you, scoot up real quick. If you're doing a handstand and your hands are way out in front like this and you're trying to do a handstand, it's going to keep coming back down like this because all of the weight of your whole body is still on this side. What we want to do is we want to make sure that our hands are placed under our shoulders. And when you're starting to do that, you're actually going to start with your shoulders a little bit in front of your hands like this. And that's why it's important to go slowly. Just like this, practice having your shoulders in front, practice lifting up until you can get up to that point where this back leg can go over the top and you can balance here and back down. That's going to take some work because what you don't want to do is go forward and face plant on the floor. Go slowly. Take the steps one step at a time. Malachi's going to try it now. You ready? Do the same thing Noah did. So, one foot up here. Hands on the floor. Good. You got it. All right. So, one foot up on this. Put this foot up here. Good. Now get your hands all the way under here. See how his hands are still in front, right? We have to move our hands in close enough so that it's over top, our shoulders are over top of our hands. Now lift the one leg up here. Ready? And lift and push. 1, 2, 3, push. And push up top. There you go. Push and back down. Good. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, push. Woo! Good. Now you see how you went like this? You see how your head came to the floor? If that happens, that just means that you're not pushing away and that your arms are not locked out straight. All right, thank you, Malachi. Now Noah's going to demonstrate the next step. Once you have learned how to go up into the handstand in a split and balance it, what you do at that point is balance it just for a second and then work on bringing your legs together on the top. Okay, Noah's going to demonstrate the next part of this. So he's going to place his hands right here on the floor. He's going to go up into that split handstand and try to balance. We're going to go up and balance here. And then once you get in, you can bounce a little bit. We're going to slowly close the legs together, making sure, again, that you have a straight line with your belly button pulled in. Then you're going to split again, and then back down. All right, so the last step to the handstand that we just did, I'll demonstrate for you now. We start in a lunge position. Again, we want to make sure that our hands are directly under our shoulders, even a little bit in front. And what we want to work on doing is going through that position into the split handstand all in one fluid motion. So we're here, we're going to lift the back leg, push, and we're going to balance just like this. Once you get to the point where you can balance this for a while, you can work on putting the legs together. Keep it nice and straight. Make sure it's nice and tall. Split again before you come down. And then back up to here. And you may have noticed when I was doing it that the whole time I'm up there, I'm making little adjustments. So when you're in the handstand, don't make any big adjustments like try to bend your arms or make big motions with your body. It's very subtle, little movements with your body, and especially with your hands. You may have noticed I was constantly adjusting with my hands. And that's one thing that you'll learn how to do the more you do your handstand. We're going to invite Malachi up here one more time. He's going to do his handstand. So stand on this side, Malachi. Arms up. He's learning his handstand. I want you to try to do one by yourself. I'm just going to help you a little bit, okay? Ready? And lift the back leg and go. Good. And do it again. That's okay. And back down. Good. One more time. You got to be really tall. Ready? Go. Good. Okay.
One more time?
Sure. One more time. There you go. Now, if you have a kid that's learning a handstand, the way they learn it is they do about 6 million of those a day. So they'll do them over and over and over again. The important thing, of course, is to try to give them a safe place to do it. So, I mean, we have a mat here. If you have even a carpeted area, that's better than just hard floor. But lots and lots of practice. It takes a lot of repetition, and it takes a lot of time. So if you're starting to work on it, and it doesn't happen right away, don't worry so much about it. So if you're working on your handstands and you're going through these steps, just keep in mind that some of this takes time. It's better to go slowly and try to do things correctly than to rush through it and not be able to do the steps that you need to be able to do a handstand correctly. So in conclusion, when you're learning your handstand, start out with simple things like tripods and headstands. Then you want to move onto the wall and practice balancing and getting yourself inverted and getting comfortable with that. And then after that, you're going to work on your split handstand. And then after your split handstand, that's when you can start to work on bringing it together. If you make sure you do those steps and then you master each step along the way, when you get a handstand, you're going to have a great handstand and you'll be able to hold it for a long time. Thank you to Malachi and my son Noah for their participation, and we will see you guys next time.